Ah, there it is. How's it going, everyone? Thought I'd try to do something a bit different today. We'll still be working on comics around about, I guess, 9, or 9 something. Uh, maybe around 9:30. I thought I'd try to draw some fan art, um, on the stream today. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah. This is just, one of those speed drills that I do every day. Just try and practice getting the rough shapes down first for like the first 30 30 seconds or so. Well, actually 10 to 30 seconds, I would say. And then I spend about a minute or two, usually about a minute and a half, trying to actually put the more detailed shapes and stuff like that in there. But I try to do these within about 2 minutes essentially. But yeah, let me get another piece of paper. Yeah. See, I was like, you know what? I haven't really, let me check something. Is this good? Let me see. My stream is telling me I'm having little issues or something. No, it's fine. Okay. Um, but yeah, I was thinking I haven't done the illustration aspect of the stream for a while now, so I'm trying to do something. I've been kind of showing you guys a bit here and there that I work on illustrations, but sometimes I end up just recording that content for Patreon and stuff like that. If you guys don't know, I have a Patreon. You guys can support me there if you'd like. I recently worked on this character here. You all probably know. Oh, wait. My footage is messed up. Great. Now, why is it messed up? Okay. 1 second. Let me see here. Oh no. Okay. That's not what I wanted you to do. Alright, let's see. Give me a moment. Going to try and refresh the video footage. Oh great. Now I have to... Ah, okay. You know, I really like these new headphones, but the cord is just so, it's just so ridiculously, okay, there we go. So darn long that I'm like, I keep stepping on it. Okay, I think that's decent. I guess I had some sort of mishap with the cord or something. I don't actually understand. Oh, that actually is it. And this might be unavoidable. Great. Okay, give me another moment. Well, no, because I'm going to end up hitting it anyway because of the way it's tangled. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. Can I jump to a different scene? See here. Is this scene here? Okay. So, yeah. 1 second. Technical difficulties. Wait, did it work? Did it come back? That'll be awesome. Nope, still gotta do some work. Of course you would do that. Wish it was a faster way to do it, but... Oh wait, that's not the right camera. There we go. We're back again. Alright. Zoom in again. Think about there is good. Sorry for the blurry vision. But yeah. Okay. Thought I started a little bit early today, but it'll actually be only a little bit early because of the little technical difficulties and whatnot. But yeah, um, essentially working on some illustration stuff, doing some fan art here and there, and I worked on this picture the other day. Um, Mrs. Marvel, um, Kamala Khan. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. I really enjoy working on this picture. This is my first time really drawing her, and I just try to, uh, as I usually do, draw the character, make them look somewhat accurate as far as the costume design and all that good stuff goes, and just put some interesting shapes down that I think will be fun for like me or anyone else to look at. So yeah, I kind of tried to do that. Um, which led me, well, I had a list, and I was like, okay, here's another character I've never drawn or I want to try out drawing. And I kind of started working on this the other day as well. So yeah, Miles Morales. It's one of the the newest design they have for him by Chase Conley. I think it's pretty cool. It's fun to draw. Um, I am not as into shoes as I'd like to be, so that was the difficult part for me. But other than that, it was pretty fun. It's pretty cool. It's not actually completed. I still want to do something a little bit with the shadow going across here. But yeah, I thought that this is what came to my mind, so I wanted to hurry up and get it on the paper. So yeah, I like it. That's why it doesn't even have like my name on it yet. I haven't even I don't consider it finished yet. Yeah, I want to try and do a essentially pencil and ink drawing real quick of another character, and it's going to be Big Barda, who is a DC character. I'm gonna try and do the same method that I did with those previously. I'm just gonna try and do a quick head sketch of the character. I'm trying to put some details in there. Hey, how's it going, Ballpoint? It's been a while. How have you been? Let's see. I'm gonna grab. First, I'm gonna go ahead and do a windowed projection of the screen here, so I don't have to have this window up. I can see what you guys see. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use PurRef. Just open it. I'm gonna throw some of the references that I have into it. And I think that'll be pretty dope. Makes working easier. So yeah, like I was saying, it's gonna be a Big Barda, and I'm going to be basing her, actually trying to somewhat base her on um her actual inspiration. So I have like a picture of a face here, some other model at a different angle, and I have her costume, which I'm going to need a little bit because some of that's going to make it onto the page. Let's grab that too. I'm going to expand the PurRef just a bit. Alright, I think I'm kind of about ready to start. Cool. Just been working on my book project. Word. And how's that been going? 95% of it done with the first book. Nice. Sounds awesome. Working on a book is a really dope thing because, well, you get to learn about the production of making a book. It's really cool. So I have to move these darn pencils. So I'm thinking of doing like a shape like this because her head, Jack Kirby, when he designed characters, Well, not necessarily when he did, but I noticed Jack Kirby has a thing for like really dope headpieces. Like he really likes to put these dope headpieces on his characters, and I think that's pretty cool. So it has like a shape like this. I'm kind of more so thinking about the overall shape here, as far as like almost like a silhouette. Like, okay, that's as far as like my reference is giving me, but essentially this type of shape. Scribble in where the mouth and everything could possibly be. Usually I don't think I would even start this way. What I would try to do is probably draw the face first and then try to go from there. But yeah. Another thing is I was looking at the reference too much. I know that actually it's gonna be a bit different. But the good thing is that I've done it so light that I can go right back over it essentially. Not having to erase all of it. I don't need to do that. It'll take me too much time. Okay, so I'm gonna make this bigger and try and get this giant headpiece all the way in there. Her head fits in here around this here. I want the eyes to be somewhere over here, the nose, mouth, chin. Okay, and it's the forehead joint. Really think it could go out of the frame a little bit. That'd be pretty cool too. So got the neck there. She's got like this type of thing on there. Just dropped the link in my art friend group. Oh, word, thanks. Really appreciate that. Go ahead and make this circular part here. Should go ahead and have this collar. Well, her collar more so. I'm trying to just keep up with these shapes that we have. So we got this circular part here. You skip one down, and then we got another one right here. Huh. And then she's got these really interesting straight lines. I think that's pretty cool. That kind of go down her torso a bit. Well, the front of her torso anyway. Okay, so here we go. So if this is the bottom part of her headpiece, and I think it's even larger than this, like about like that. Okay. Okay, for the most part, I think I got most of what I want to like get started. I'm looking at this reference like, what is that? 'Cause okay, so this is where that's supposed to be. Okay, I don't have to worry about that too much. Alright, so now that I have most of this stuff in here, I can kind of start getting into more detail, which you guys can't see that much of, but I kind of see it. So I'm going to try and start really looking at placement of everything. But I'm also going to keep my hand a little bit soft on the page. Gotta make sure that her certain part of her face even comes through. I have to look at the design for her helmet and the model's face. It's pretty interesting. So I overshot that a little bit. But right now I'm just trying to focus on shapes. Trying to focus on just making good shapes. Okay, so I think you can start trying to overlap things for the head and everything. Like her head's in here. It's that part of the neck. Shoulder should be somewhere over there. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Hey, thanks. This is my first time drawing this character. I am just trying to do a good job. But also enjoy the process of trying to just make this work. Okay, so her joint seems to do something like this. So you have this shape here. Of course, we have that. You can see the other side of that. A little bit more up. Then it curves down. Okay, so actually, that's wrong, but that's fine. So we have an eraser. It's similar, but it's not the same. Okay, so it's also not as whatchamacallit kind of goes through here, the eyebrows here. So that's kind of interesting, which makes it kind of overlap a little bit there. And there's not too much space in between. It's just enough space for you to see a little bit above the eyebrows. And then that's when it just does that. And that's when my reference gets cut off at the top. But I'm gonna make do with the shape that I have first. Okay, so this goes about over here. Okay. So it comes in at an angle like this. Either that or I raise the eyebrows too big. Again, similar but different. Oh no, this isn't an OC of mine. It's a character called Big Barda. He's a DC character. Yeah, I've never drawn her, but I always thought she sounded cool and she was cool. Like both. I was just like, you know what? that character's cool. Why is she cool? I don't know yet. I mean, I've seen her in a couple things here and there, DC animated stuff here and there, but for the most part, when I saw her, I thought she looked cool. She seemed cool. So I thought that was just it. That was enough for me. I don't know if something up here does this. I feel like I may be making it a little bit too thin. Vibrata is quite strong. She's so strong that she could even wrestle essentially Wonder Woman. So take that, with what you will, because that's pretty different. Okay, so I have this going here. I have this going lower. This needs to be adjusted. Mono eraser for the win. Yeah, I think I'd be up for that. Just tell me beforehand so that I can plan around it, you know? That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so this shape repeats this shape. Okay, I'm not gonna perfect with my reference, but I'm gonna do the best that I can with what I have. Okay, so this should at least be here. That looks interesting. And this seems to aim about here. And it's a little below this line. Okay. So this is here as a point. That's different. That's pretty cool. That's something. Okay. And now I have to eventually look at my reference completely again because at a certain point the top of her head got chopped off my reference. So I gotta go check that out again. Okay, word. Yeah, I'd be up for that. Okay, so we got that line there. We have, looks at reference. Okay, we have this here. And some changing the length of some things here and there, which is fine because it just did it. It's fine. Okay, and this should probably extend just a little bit past there. And then this is going to be the middle area, which I notice now I have more space here, so cool. Just go around. And now after that we have this area here. Which actually this makes more sense to me. I thought it was a little off before, but that first stage isn't about accuracy. It's more about just shapes. It's almost like a reference. Like, hey, here, make this type of shape. There, make that type of shape. Even if it's off, like, It's like a reference point. So down here to here. There we go. I'm gonna move this up just a bit as well. Yeah, that makes more sense. And now this goes here to here. It's more like that. Okay. So that's that part. Now we can finally look over here. Maybe I made her cheeks a little bit too much. Looks at reference of the lady. Her cheeks are kind of out there as well. So do something like this. And like really pronounce them there. Okay. Changes up a little bit there. It's interesting. This is just really sharp here. Oh, you just sent me something on IG. Alright, give me a moment. I'll check it out. Do I use brushes? Yeah, right now I'm using the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. And this is the Tombow Furinosuke. This is the hard tip. I think it's pretty good. Both of those are pretty good. Sometimes I use this as well, but I haven't actually used this in a while. But yeah, I like brushes. I mean, I like inking. Yeah, I do. It's like a little, yeah, that's a tip. All right, let me see here. I think actually this makes more sense for it to something like that. Is another thing. I definitely have to look at the reference or look at more reference because, yeah, her headpiece is very important. And obviously, the unfortunate part is that if you don't like keep up with like her headpiece or whatever, you know, people design it differently each time, is what I mean to say. So, like, if I don't actually keep up with it, then I'm gonna lose it. I'm not gonna see it. Okay, so here's oh man, I tell you, Google these days really be like, yo, here's the reference. You click the reference. The preview image is actually bigger than the image you just clicked on. It's like, oh, come on. Like, how was that even possible? Okay. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Give me one moment. I'm really trying to just find a decent reference for this helmet in a different position so I can see the top part. The top part of mine got cut off. Okay, I'm gonna just make do with this. It's fine. Okay, so this person designed it where it's like pointy at the top like that. That's fine. It's cool. I can dig that. Yeah, it's looking more like her now actually. That's pretty dope. Alright. Now these here, or this here, needs to go all the way up. So it's not even gonna be on the page. Which is kind of dope. When I think about it. Yeah, because it will be somewhere up here. And she also has some sort of lines going from here to here. Yeah. Alright, so let's go around. I'm really gonna try and make sure that shape is very much pronounced. Actually grab this and drag this in here, so I don't need the other one very much anymore. Ah, I use Pentel as well. Gives nice chunky lines. Pinterest, maybe? Yeah, right? Like Pinterest is the better Google images at this point. Definitely. Yeah, it does give nice chunky lines. Did you see the picture of a Captain Marvel I drew? Or my bad, Miss Marvel that I drew? I inked it with that. Kind of fill in the blacks with the other thing. Oh, word. I got it off to the side right here. Kind of showed it at the beginning, but kind of how that turned out. I mainly inked it with the Tombow, and I filled in like the big shapes with the other the other pen, the Pentel, the pocket brush pen. But yeah, I like how it turned out. I like the hair. It's dope. She's a cool character. My friend loves her and loves the run that they had done with her some time ago. And I haven't read it yet or anything, but I always thought, based on how he described her and her run, that she was a dope character. So yeah, won the draw. Turned out cool. Yeah. So let's see here. This should be able to do this. Now I gotta make that little part come out the side. How the heck do you flip this again? See your images. Align, normalize, no. Canvas, no. How do you flip this thing horizontally? Because that's what I don't remember how to do. Or I'll just have to essentially figure that out. Oh, it's got that old school comic book feel. Dope. It's literally, yeah, it's right there. Just, yeah. Hmm. Oh, because you wouldn't see where it started. You would see this part slowly going up, which starts here. Yes, but it would do this. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna go downward. I think this should escape the paper a little bit. So it should hit a point here and then come down at a slant. Yeah. This too should go like that. Kinda like the shape of it. It's kind of cool. Mm. I have to dip for a quick second, waiting on a call. Okay, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so these joints over here need to be thicker. This one here I can kind of get away with, but this one I cannot. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Thicker armor pieces is just way more intimidating. As long as it looks like you can move in it, right? Because if it doesn't look like you can move in it, then it doesn't look anywhere near intimidating. You're just like, I mean, it's cool that you have that armor on. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but like, you can't move in it. So it's not really that cool. Thicker armor is way more intimidating when you can actually move in it. Definitely if it's ridiculously big. But, you know, visuals aside, you know, they kind of sort of come first. You almost can't believe it when you see someone be able to unrealistically move a certain way in something. Not that it's it's impossible. We've seen many things that would seem to be impossible at this point, but they exist. There. Try to do better with the next picture as far as construction goes. on the page here. Slight tilt. Okay then. Okay, and everything else is essentially dark, but I think I want to actually look up a certain visual effect for this. I'm seeing kind of like how the reference looks, and I'm like, that reminds me of almost like a fish or something. Maybe I could like reference a fish. Maybe. Think that'd be pretty cool. Gotta find the right scales and whatnot. Alright, so the lady we're drawing from here. Alright, let's see if we can actually replicate some of the lighting, because that would also be pretty cool. I mean, it literally works for the reference we're looking at, so. Or we could reference the other lighting, so I think we'll go with that. But it's very much similar to the Kamala drawing. I kind of want to adjust the eyes a bit, just a little bit. I think they could be a bit more, bit better. But yeah, I think I will eventually check out more things going on with Big Barda and the Furies and stuff. Um, I'm interested. Character seems cool, and I think Jack Kirby was definitely, trying to make something a bit different. I feel like he almost looked at the lady that Big Barda is based off of, and maybe that's what, he was like, Wonder Woman could be like this. Because it definitely feels like he was trying to make something really close to Wonder Woman, but like make it cooler some type of way. A little smaller over here. Alright, I think for the most part that looks cool. But now the hard part for me is like, okay, looking at the reference, what do you want to do with this pattern that's being portrayed on the helmet? Like that's the interesting thing to me. Um I think I know what I'm gonna do though. I think I'm gonna look up the character and make sure I look up specifically Jack Kirby. I know Jack Kirby is very particular about using patterns. And I kind of want to try and do that. I want to look and see what Jack was doing with the character as far as the pattern goes, and see if I can create something similar to that. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna look it up. I am looking it up, and yeah, it seems like he was on this thing where, yeah, he liked to do this thing where there was this, it's almost like this halo going on around this object here. It looks pretty cool and very deliberate. I like that. I like that a lot about it. And I think that's what I want to try and do with it. I guess it's almost like you could say a certain part of it essentially, you know how like a surface has an edge? Like a certain part of this has an edge to it that it kind of bends a certain direction or something. So, I think that's what I'm going to try and go for. And it's pretty he tried to leave this make the space really big too. So it's like a really front facing type of thing. So it'd be like this big here. Like that's how wide of an area it seems like he's working with there. That's what it looks like. Something like that. And then he has these very deliberate like lines going through everything. And they seem to be like equally distant apart, which kind of creates this this effect of like pointing you towards like her face essentially. So if I were to pick a certain place on her face for you to look at, that's what all these lines would essentially be trying to point you to in some way, shape, or form. So, except it's not, I would almost say it changes, right? The bottom part aims here, and the top part aims somewhere in the middle of the head, or maybe towards here. Yeah, I'm gonna say in this general direction. So if I were to do it, it would be like this type of thing. Okay, and then there's that. You have this. And then it kind of changes a bit. Usually these are blocked off, but I can assume you'd have this, then another one, then another one. Okay, and you would go down, and again, things would essentially do something like that. And then we start to kind of go downward from there. Right, not even supposed to go through that. Alright, let's erase out what we weren't supposed to touch, which is this. Alright, it's here. Honestly, these wouldn't even go that far because you wouldn't see that effect going through. These will be in darkness. So this whole thing will be dark here. So you wouldn't even see those type of effects happening over there. This is fine. This you wouldn't see. Right? For reference sake. I guess I could just go ahead and finish it. What time is it? Oh, it's only about 9:30. Hmm. I still will be drawing until about 11 anyway, so it wouldn't necessarily hurt to attempt to try and finish it. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me look here. So her arm's gonna come out of there. Over here somewhere. This is off. This is there. So we'll do this. That makes more sense. And let's see. What does the reference say? Okay, so I'm going to try and like round this just a little bit. Kind of allude to like I'll say the plane changing a little bit, but I don't know if that's the right term. See here again. Yeah, for the most part, that's all I needed. All right. Is there anything else I want to change before I start? I think the only thing is her eyebrow here being too high, or higher than I'd like it to be. And looking at my reference, I know that I kind of want part of her face to be in the darkness. But do I commit to that? That's the real question. Not that I'm necessarily afraid to commit to it. I'm cool with these type of shadows. It's more like, do I want to commit to it in the inking phase? So I could technically want to color these type of drawings. Again, why did I do that with the eyebrows? I think I might leave it the way it is and just do something else. But yeah, okay. Here is my sketch of Big Barda, or drawing. And I guess I'll start trying to ink it. Okay, so I'll start where I usually would start, which is around this area here. Okay. I can kind of go. Actually wonder how much ink these things have in them, because I've been using mine a lot more recently. I'm like, I wonder if this thing's ever gonna like run out on me. I'm like, what should I want to do this with exactly? So I know that I'm gonna do these circular parts with this tool here, but also I don't know. Okay, so I do have to stop there. Hmm. Interesting. I don't think I did the other side. It's supposed to be here. Okay, and it goes outward, so technically it's probably this. Or it's closer to this, I'd say. This is where my reference gets cut off again. Okay, so there they did that. Okay. Has a little curve to it. Cool. So this line here. Again. That works. Alright. This line here. Okay. Alright, and this part is red, so I can be a little careful with it. Then we have this one down here. I'm gonna just overlap it a little bit here. I need to arc from here to here. I think the best thing about this pen is the amount of pressure you can put on it, and also the fact that like you can go over the area again without feeling like, oh, like the ink's not done drying or something. I think that's the really cool part about this pen. Slowly getting somewhere. Trying to not be too slow. It's looking okay so far. I'm actually being super careful, though I don't need to be. At this point, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm just slowing down to check things, but I can kind of just go. That's what I do right before I grab this. Just start making adjustments here and there. So let's see. Actually, that works. Alright, so what's the darker parts here? We have right here. So I think I'm going to pick based on my other reference, the lighting. So technically it would be here where I see some sort of lighting hit, possibly. Then everything else will be dark. These joints on here are also dark, but also the lighting would hit around there, so then like that. Okay. The other side. Okay. I could accentuate the shadow here a bit, but mm, nah. These parts are in shadow. Over these parts. Why does this shape remind me of someone from Star Wars? What's her name? Something Amidala? That's interesting. Oh, I guess she probably had something similar to this as well. That makes sense though. Influence can come from any and everywhere. All right, getting somewhere again. It's looking like something. So that's good. How should I do your eye? So I'm wondering. And the light is coming from the other direction. So that's the funny part. You would technically see a little bit there, but like none here per se. These. Okay, cool. Just looking where I kind of want her to be. Do I want to add to that at all? Also, her eyes should be kind of more in shadow, so I'm gonna add to this. Alright, that looks kind of cool. I should probably not do this with this, but I'm going to. I'll come back to that. I kind of want to do some dynamic lighting on it, but if I do that, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm hitting the shadows the way I really want to. Okay, so big shape here. Actually, I'll start here. It's kind of funny because it's really just like it doesn't need to be too crazy. So okay, yeah, everything else is just these type of things. Right, so I kind of want to play around with the shapes here. So let's see. Like it's not like perfectly smooth or something. It's got like some extra form to it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I think this could be pretty cool. We're gonna lose most of these dope shapes, but we're not gonna lose the outside, so that's cool. Okay, alright, so this part can get filled in here. Same for this other side here. Anyone's here, how you doing? I'm just about done with this picture. And that means I can, well, have another picture I've done under my belt. That's great. And also I can return back to my usual comic. But yeah, if you guys don't know, on my Instagram page I've been kind of promoting, more so through my Instagram stories, that I'm kind of selling original art pieces. Stuff like this, inked or colored with marker or paint. Um, I haven't like given them an official price per se, but I feel like I know what they're worth. But if you send me a message about which one you want to buy and what you think will be a fair price, that'd be dope because then we can negotiate, or I can just accept your price because I like it, and can go ahead and go from there. I have a few supplies when it comes to shipping, but not everything. But I have some things already, so I can ship out a few things right now, and the other things I'll have to wait on. So, but yeah, um, I want to be able to sell original art pieces right now. I think that'd be dope, and yeah, it's available. It's more than 10 pieces. It's probably more than 20 pieces, somewhere around 30 pieces available. Again, check me on Instagram at Altrodesi. Um, check out some of the art that I have available. Um, as you can tell, I do art inspired by comics, manga, anime, those types of things. So if you like that, check it out. Might find something you like. Okay, I think for the most part, it's as kind of dark as I need to make most of that. Everything else is what, like she has like a cape on or something that goes past her thingy. Right. Okay, so she has like these shapes that essentially, yeah, remind me of like, are they scales? So, um, hmm. So I could do something like this. could. Don't know if that'll be good enough for this character. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think I like that. Do a little bit here. Uh, yeah, for the most part, I think I got something I like. Hopefully you guys dig it. Okay. And that is good enough for me. Yeah. Let me see here. Alright, I think that's pretty cool for the most part. Not much more I'm gonna do here. Alright, cool. She's a DC Comics character. Unless you mean like which one do I prefer? Um, I'm not sure yet if that's what you're asking. I would get inking work for sure. I am. I appreciate that. I don't think I'm there anywhere near yet, but I actually enjoy inking, so not opposed to that type of job. Um, it is fun to me. But yeah, this is the third character on my list. It's just a list from my head of like random characters that I thought, it would be cool to draw those characters. Not like characters that like I'm totally in love with necessarily. They're more like characters that I wish I knew more about, but they seem interesting from the outside looking in, I guess. Now, I might put more detail on this here and there, but like for the most part, all this is done. Alright, so last but not least, writing the signature somewhere on here. Alright, I think that's pretty cool. We finally got well, another one off the list, the DC Comics character. How long did it take me? Let's see, stream's been going for, dang, about 2 hours, so, okay, cool. Well, I did start about 30 minutes early, so that's fine. So again, now we have, well, let me shake this off. I like that sound actually. So now we have this character here, Big Barda, and we have Kamala Khan. I'm actually happy that the direction of the face is slightly turned, and I didn't do the same head. Like that makes me a little bit more happy. I was like, oh no, no, it's a little bit, so it's tilted a little bit down here, and it has a little bit more of the face showing while this one's turned towards the thing. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah, working on this Miles Morales joint. Um, Probably gonna do a little bit of a background here while he's sliding down, what he's sliding down, and everything like that. But yeah, things are progressing. Getting more work for you guys. All the fan art that I draw is available to buy. If you ever see anything that you think, man, that looks cool, you want to buy it, for anyone who's here or who's seeing the video after it goes, up and it's not live anymore. If you see anything in the videos that is not, well, that is fan art, if you want it, message me on anything that you see that I'm on. YouTube, Instagram, definitely. Twitter, definitely. Hit me up. Yo, I saw you, you did this picture here. Screenshot it, something, anything. This is the picture I'd like. Throw me up what you feel like you'd like to pay for it. And we go from there. But yeah. Cool. That was fun. I actually want to draw her again. I actually love her headpiece. It's really fun to draw once you get it right. And I like that I was able to do more brush pen type stuff on her. So yeah. So let's see. Let's grab these comic pages. One moment. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So I printed out some newer pages because I knew I was going to get to the end of the page we're working on previously. So there wasn't much to do on that. The light box, remove all the other things that I have. The table. There's about 20 minutes left in the stream, so we'll be able to get something done and worked on, so that's good. So this is progressing. Actually, let me grab something to drink. I haven't drunk anything the whole time. You know, actually would love to see how she uses that weapon, Big Barda. She has like this weapon that when you read about it and it's described, you're like, man, that sounds crazy dope. But when you see it, it's like, what is this little stick thing? Like, what is this? How does she use it? Like, does it transform or something? Like, thing can open up portals essentially throughout space and she uses that energy to like propel herself while she's holding it. Like she can like use it to jump really high, or I guess propel herself. It's like what? Like how can you, this is really amazing technology thing that she's utilizing. And for some reason, hmm, okay, all right, let's see. We're having issues again with the camera. Camera, what you doing? Camera, why you being this way? Moment. It's probably because I keep tapping the darn cord. All right, now all I have to do is, let me see, double tap there and click here, then click here. Wait, wrong one. Wait, okay, there we go. Streaming professional. All right. But yeah, all right, I think, let me see, I got my hand. Yeah, things are, we're back. We're back in order. But yeah. Yeah, I was like, I was wondering how the heck does her weapon actually work for her? Like, how does she actually use it? But I'll find out later, eventually. So I'm wondering the thing. The reason, there's two main reasons why I draw most of my pages by hand. Despite them being manga or whatever, inspired. Um, and those two main reasons are I want to be able to sell them one day, or like have them to be able to sell one day, like 20 years from now, 40 years from now, whatever it is. I'll have these comic pages. I'll be able to do something with them, even if I like. What if I don't need to sell them? I could like put them in a museum. I could have a little art exhibit or something, because I have something to show from the time where I was doing this, or on this part of when I'm doing this, essentially. Um, and I think that'd be dope. What else? Um, where was I going with that? Essentially, also, I like to work traditionally. It's tangible, it's fun, you can physically feel it. I guess I grew up in the era where uh, digital was getting popular, but for me, it just wasn't there yet. And I feel like the older individuals knew it was gonna get there very soon, while I was just like, man, it's not really that cool. And I don't know. I still what I try to do is incorporate digital into my process no matter what, because it is a better tool, right? I would say up front it doesn't seem like that, um, because though people tell you digital is cheaper than traditional, I, I think in the long run it's cheaper than traditional. I feel like you can buy a set of watercolor paint and like some cheap sketchbooks or whatever, and you can use that for a very long time. As far as the paint goes, definitely. Maybe the paper is what's expensive about traditional. To me, paint is not that expensive. I mean, you get it, definitely watercolor. Like, unless you're watercoloring for like 10 hours straight every single day, Like you're just going through watercolor paper like crazy, going through watercolor paint like crazy. Unless you're doing that, I don't see how it could be that expensive out the gate compared to like digital. But then again, they have way better options these days. Um, when I was, checking out stuff for the first time, I feel like tablets were kind of expensive. Like they had cheaper options, but nowhere near like competitive cheap options, right? So if you found one that was 100, that was like the main one. Like everybody knew about that one thing that was 100, and it was the basic version of the tablet. Production work. It makes sense. Exactly. Yeah. Like yeah, I don't mind using digital nowadays, but at first I was just very standoffish. But I was like 16 years old, like, oh no man, like I don't want to use it. But now that I have this hybrid process, makes sense to use it. I was thinking about it today while I was getting ready to stream downstairs, thinking about it like, why not just go fully digital? I like to have these little mental arguments with myself. It's funny. Uh, and I'm just like, no, because there's something else to be lost there. If I was particularly excited about computer usage or computers in general, I think, yeah, I'd be a whole different person. I enjoy what you're able to do on digital, and I am often looking for more things that I can do because I know that I'm usually late to a lot of big leaps in technology and stuff like that. You know, uh, I guess for me it was like, yo, if I'm like broke and like I don't know, I guess I'm used to not having the best phones or the best this and the best that. I just kind of was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna look at all the new stuff per se because I'm not gonna get it. Like I know I'm not gonna get it. So why would I even think about it? So by the time I got to it, like actually being near that type of stuff, being around better technology and even having access to it, I didn't even know what it could do because I didn't pay attention. So I be struggling with technology a lot, but I'm learning a lot more these days, and I've been teaching myself a lot of things that I would have never attempted to do like 3, 4 years ago, ever. I would have never touched it. So I'm proud of myself in that way. But still love to draw traditionally. I think I wanna like try and work on making some sort of style or something where when I'm working digitally, I end up being able to try and I want to use digital kind of like a learning device, you know? I feel like it's getting better for that. Like I was talking to my wife like the other day and I'd noticed these little things that were in Procreate and I was like, "Oh snap, like I like this a lot." Like it's just sliders, right? It's I was looking at the the color wheel joint, right? Which, I already have the little traditional joints, you know what I'm saying? Look, traditional color wheel joint. And it's got all the little information on the back and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, to read about this and read about that, color, hue, value, and all that good stuff, right? But unless you're really practicing it all the time or a decent amount of the time, it's not going to stick with you. The best thing about digital is you have access to, I would say, almost too much, right? You don't even know about it, but you have access to it. And I think it's a great learning tool, definitely with Procreate. So I was looking at sliders again, right? And it was like, okay, you pick a color on the color wheel, very simple, and then underneath it there's these sliders in Procreate, and there's multiple sliders. I think it's about 3 or 4, and one of them affects essentially, the hue. One of them affects the, I forget what it's called, but essentially the light and darkness of the, or I guess that's the value, right? And then there was something else. I believe it's saturation or intensity, one of those. And I was like, see, when you look at those videos that teach you more stuff about like color theory and stuff like that, I feel like it's a lot harder to learn when it comes to not having those types of things available, because then you're just color picking. And I think that's also a great exercise. But like when it's the only thing you have, I feel like that sucks. When it's like literally all you have to learn from, it's like, oh, you just get good at the color picking. It's not nothing wrong with that. It's just not what I'd like to do. Um, I also feel like people learn better when they have a limited palette, and that's also something cool. But basically, I'm looking at these tools these days, and I'm like, what more can I get out of them to make my work better? And I can keep my hybridization. Because at the end of the day, I want to do comics and I want to do illustrations. And I don't want to, like, health-wise hurt myself too badly. Because, artists don't get, health insurance. And if you're trying to do a job and you're in a competitive field like art, anything in art is very freaking competitive, you have to keep producing work. And if you gotta keep producing work, you gotta keep, going. And yeah, my stuff right now is hybrid. And that's because I would like to have a copy of like all of my pages at the end of the day that I can do something with, even if it's just giving them away or showing them to my kids or something like that. Also, I really enjoy it. Keeps my morale high. It's like, oh snap, I'm working on something. I have this much space to work on it, and uh, I can physically feel the paper and all this other type of stuff that I don't know humans like. Um, Now this isn't like as bad as like I guess like I don't work with like bad chemicals or nothing like that, right? So it's not like, oh man, like that paint stinks. Like I remember someone was talking about like certain type of paint and it gets like everywhere and you smell it and you can't get rid of it because it's everywhere. Um, and I was just like, well, that sucks. But like I'm talking about, pencil, pen, and the stuff that I use is like, I'll show you guys. Obviously, I'm using like markers, which come with a dang on cap, so you don't gotta worry about no smell. We're not out here, doing what you're not supposed to do with Sharpies, so don't worry about that, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I use those. I use, if I can grab something else real quick. I have actually a bunch of this stuff organized finally. I use watercolors. I'm not going to throw that in the screen. Watercolor. I use fluid acrylic. Those types of things. They don't smell. They don't have any crazy aroma that just stays around, thankfully. So I'm happy about that. I actually want to try out gouache eventually. Everywhere I look, it's like haunting me. Like it's been haunting me for years. It's like it's that one thing that's like I haven't tried out yet, and I'm like, what if I like it? Oh no, because I don't want to like it, because that means I have to really get into it again. Like I have to get into buying some new product. Right now, I'm actually pretty happy with what I'm using as far as watercolor, marker, and fluid acrylic. I think that's a pretty good um combination, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying like working with those. But every now and then I see someone's work, either in person or um, online, and I'm just like, man, like what do they use to get that? And it's like, oh, gouache. And I'm like, that again. I think the closest thing I have to gouache is these Ghibli paints that I picked up. I think they're very similar to gouache, I believe. That's what they were saying. They're very similar to gouache. They're poster color. Poster color paints. Okay. I think that's not far enough. But yeah, if you have any, I mean, you should check them out if you can. They're pretty fun to use, and I guess there's something, I guess, pretty cool about knowing you're using the colors that were in like Ghibli movies and stuff like that. There's definitely something dope about that. But there is something that kind of sucks about that too. That means that if you know you're using the paint of essentially someone who's considered to be a master, right? The, some of the background painters and stuff like that at Ghibli are like masters of their craft. So if you know, don't remember that while you are using a product that they use, you might think, why can't I make this product do what the other people were doing when I think I'm pretty decent? And the other thing is just they've been working with that. I hear that the Ghibli paint is paint that in Japan is very non-expensive. Like they've been using it not like we know about crayons in the States. Like I'm sure they also know about crayons, but like that's their crayon version of paint. Like everyone basically has some experience using it, which is why they have so much boatloads of it in the animation studios, or at least back in the day with cell animation and stuff. So don't go trying to be that good yet out the gate. Gotta work on it. Gotta work yourself through it. And again, you're gonna have to produce eventually hundreds, if not a couple thousand, before. Actually, no, you don't necessarily have to produce that much to produce consistently something good. You just gotta find your angle. What's the thing you want to do with the paint, right? If you want to paint like buildings and stuff like that, like pick like three things or something like that, right? That like you really want to use that paint to do. For example, like I love clouds. So when I use that paint, I just try to throw down something that reminds me of clouds. Here's like something. It's very, I guess, impressionistic right now, right? But yeah, I try to get that feeling across. That we are looking at some clouds. And yeah, hope it looks like that, but for me it gives me that feeling. And yeah, since I like clouds, that's what I go for. Um I've done I've done a bunch of those here and there. I showed them before at some point. Probably never showed this one. It's another one where I was trying to get type of lighting going on, but again, this is I haven't used the tool that much. It's a little bit different from watercolor. There's other things that I feel like I've gotten more successful at, and others where I haven't gotten very successful at it, you know? But yeah, I like clouds, right? So if I were to do hundreds of clouds, eventually I would get it, right? Eventually I'd be like, hold on, like there's a pattern to this almost. Like if the sun hits here and I make this type of shape there, you know, then this would happen, right? Like this is one of my first ones actually, but yeah, I was able to get that, which means, okay, cool. Once I have a knack for, like, once I know why I'm doing the thing, I can kind of prioritize all my skills and my knowledge, my insight onto trying to achieve a look for a specific thing like clouds, right? And I don't have to worry about like, oh, I also want to be good at everything that the Ghibli guys were. It's like, no, it's multiple people doing multiple different styles of backgrounds that they have like their eyes on. Like they are, they're into those things, so that's why they're hired to do them. Yeah, they can do other things on top of that, but they almost stem from the basic skills into the thing they're into a little bit. Like, you got your basic painting skills, you got the stuff you're into, right? This is like my first one, actually. This is my first painting with that paint. It obviously didn't go that well, but it was fun, and I learned. I usually take about an hour of time trying to do one. I would try to do one like every day. Then I stopped because I'm whack, but I'm gonna get back to it. And then try to do something with that. I didn't really like the way that came out completely. But it was cool. Then we got that one. We did that one eventually. I was on a roll for a while, and I was enjoying them. I think I'm gonna do them again. But yeah, I really like doing like the sky essentially. I love that. Um, so if you have an angle for anything actually, not just paint, but going into any new medium of art, like something you like, um, try that. You know. Plus, Japan is on some different kind of work ethic. It's not just a work ethic, though, right? It's literally just understanding how you work or something. It's some meta stuff there, but yeah, sure. But like this is what I was able to do with like markers, right? Like this is a medium I'm more familiar with. It's actually harder to get something that's, I would say, flat with markers that go across the surface, but once you figure it out, you can kind of do a lot with that. But yeah, like I really like this one. It's a while ago. But yeah, like you can do it. Just gotta figure out what you want to do, figure out how long you're gonna spend doing it. I said, I'll spend an hour doing this thing. I have kids. I'm a husband. I'm someone's husband, you know, and I got to take care of a household most of the time. So I don't have all the time just to do everything that I want to do all the time. Uh, so I just give myself a certain amount of time and go, okay, every day we're gonna do at least like one of these, yeah. And for the most part, I tried to do that for a good while, and I did. So yeah, but yeah, um, I'm gonna go ahead and put. I'm gonna go ahead and put the last frame around here because we didn't really work too much on this, but kind of sort of out of time. Yeah, I thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream. It means a lot to me. You guys' support is everything. It's dope. Um, again, I am selling original art. Again, I am coming to you for your support. I forget how he said it. But like like selling original art, um, which I believe should be pretty affordable. Um, and it's all fan art. So if you have a favorite character, definitely if you're, I don't actually draw, I would say what's to be considered very popular characters. So if you like niche stuff, um, definitely old school anime niche type stuff or some video game stuff, check that out. I'm eventually gonna try and draw more popular characters here and there, but right now I'm just thinking about, what I've already drawn. I'm like, I don't specifically go after very popular characters. I go after characters that I'm interested in drawing or something like that. But since I know I want to eventually sell more original artwork, yeah, I'm gonna get more of that out there. Of course, you can commission me. Of course. Do you want the commission to be a digital picture that I will send you through email? Are you okay with that? Or do you want to commission me for something that is kind of similar to what I did on today's stream and I can like send it to you in the mail? because obviously the commission for the digital one would be a lot cheaper, since you don't have to worry about shipping and things of that nature. Oh, like today's stream? Okay, cool. Um, alright, so that's shipping involved. But yeah, of course I can do that. What character are you looking to get drawn? If you do know. If you do know what character you'd like me to draw. It would be post art, my character, but we can talk off stream. Okay then, hit me up on Instagram with more details. We can go from there. But yeah, all right, everyone. I'll talk to you all later. It is Friday, so I'll be back on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, so yeah, thank you guys all again. Selling original art. You already know that, because I already said that. It's on my Instagram and my Instagram stories. And also, if you see any fan art on my Instagram, as far as on the feed that you want to buy, hit me up in the messages, and like we can discuss it and get you that art piece. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace, everyone.